Class 6 Biology Chapter 3 The Cell. Children, in this video you will learn about the cell. Every organism begins its life as a single cell. This single cell undergoes repeated divisions to become a complete living organism. Thus, a cell can be defined as the basic structural and functional unit of all living things. You take any organism, like you take a whale, or you take a mango tree, or a banyan tree, or a human being. Every organism started its life as a single cell. This cell then undergoes repeated divisions, that is, they increase in number. As they increase in number, they grow in size and they become a complete living organism. So, a cell is the basic unit of life. Discovery of a cell. Antony van Leeuwenhoek developed a simple microscope using a single biconvex lens. He was the first person to see the term cells and recognized them as living units. So here, this is Antony van Leeuwenhoek. He was the first person to make a very simple microscope, as you see over here, which consisted of a single biconvex lens which was present over here. With the help of this microscope, he was able to see the cells. That is, the blood cells of the frog through the foot web. Now, he recognized these small cells as living units of living organisms. But he did not call them as cells. Later on, Robert Hooke developed a microscope to observe different objects using two lenses. He examined a very thin slice of cork. Cork is the bark of trees. He took a very thin slice of cork and then put it under the microscope. Here you can see the microscope which Robert Hooke had used. There are two different lenses which are present over here. Now, if the cork is kept over here, he could see from this tube-like structure. So, there were two convex lenses which were used over here. Now, he had taken a thin slice of cork and observed it under this microscope. What he saw was honeycomb-like structures as you see over here. This is a piece of cork which is seen under a microscope. You can see small structures, dot-like structures or honeycomb-like structures which are piled together. Now this piled structure reminded him of the cells of monks. Now the monks, they live in monasteries. Now the small rooms that the monks live in are known as the cells. So he remembered the term cell in which the monks used to live in a monastery. So he first called these honeycomb-like structures as cells. Now let us study about the cells a little bit more. What is the branch of biology which deals with the study of cells? It is known as cytology. That is, the branch of biology which deals with the study of cells is called cytology. A cell is said to be living when it contains a jelly-like substance called protoplasm. In the previous slide, you saw that Robert Hooke had observed the dead cells, that is, the cells of a cork. But if you see a live cell, that is a living cell, you will find that there is a jelly-like substance which we call as protoplasm. So protoplasm is the living substance of the cell, which is made up of cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. So protoplasm is a living substance of the cell. Nowadays, the microscope that we use in our laboratory is known as the compound microscope. This, as you see, is the compound microscope which you will find in your biology lab. We are able to see different cells or slides under these lenses which are present over here. Cells, their numbers. On the basis of the number of cells, the organisms are divided into two categories. First, the unicellular cells. What do you understand by unicellular? Uni means one, that is, organisms which are made up of only one cell. So, unicellular organisms are single-celled organisms. The body of many microscopic plants and animals are formed of a single cell. For example, the bacterium, yeast, amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas, etc. As you can see the figure over here, these are algae, that is single-celled plants which are present in the water. You can see that they are all single-cell structures. They are not joined with each other. They are all single-celled structures. Multicellular organisms. This is the second category of organisms based on the number of cells. As you can see from the name, it suggests that multicellular means innumerable number of cells are present in that organism. Whatever plants and animals that you see around yourself, they are all made up of millions and millions of cells. So, these organisms are called multicellular organisms. For example, the rose plant, the peepal plant, the human beings, as you see us, then the frog, the deer, the dog, any animal, any plant that you see around you are all multicellular organism. Even this frog is also a multicellular organism. That is, different cells made up these organisms. So children, we will learn about the cell shape and the cell theory in our next video.